Hi everyone, so in this video we're going to be talking about keyword grouping, which is also known as keyword clustering. I'll take you through my process of how I do keyword grouping, and hopefully by the end of it you'll have a clear understanding of how you can go away and do it yourself. So at the end of the video, don't forget to like, subscribe and share. And if you want to find out more about local SEO and how you can do it yourself, then follow the link below to my free local SEO course. So keyword grouping is basically a list of semantically related keywords that help search engines understand the page better. By grouping keywords, it makes it easy for search engines and your visitors to know what the page is about. Not only that, it'll also make it easy for you to see what pages you need to create, and it'll form the structure of your website. So now you know what it is and how important it is, let's get into the video and I'll show you exactly my process of how I group keywords. So in the last video we went through how to build the list of keywords. Now we've got the keywords, we're just going to go through how to sort them into different groups. So we've got our list here, and this is all stemmed from the keyword builders in London. Our list is 54 keywords long, and what we're going to do now is we're going to sort all of these into different groups so that we can then distribute these onto the different pages. So we're going to make 3 different groups: the high level group, the subgroup, and then we're going to work through the subgroups until we've made the groups even smaller and more targeted. So what we've done here is we've created another column and we've called it the high level group. We've then gone through all of the keywords here and we've sorted them into relevant groups. So only looking at broad groups at the moment. So we're just looking at anything that just specifies builders in London. We're looking for any other little locations that we can add to different groups. So West London has its own group, South London has its own group. So we're just trying to get a rough idea of what keywords should go where. From here we've then gone and created another column for a subgroup. So what we're doing now is we're narrowing this down even more. So anything that we could then put into another smaller group, we can. For example, what we've got here is we've got the keyword Greenwich home builders, then we go to the high level group which we've sorted into builder Greenwich, and then we've got the subgroup. We could actually create a group for home builders Greenwich. We've then sorted some of these keywords here, so luxury home builders London into home builders London, emergency builders London into emergency builders London, Polish builders London into Polish builders London, and you get the idea. And then from the subgroups we've then taken it one step further and created another column for subgroups. So what we're doing now is we're narrowing it down even more. So from home builders London you can then go to luxury home builders London. From home builders London you can also go to conservatory builders London. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to really narrow down what kind of page and content you can create for these keywords so it's most effective. The idea is that we want Google to come on, we want it to see that we're a conservatory builder in London, and we're going to have a whole page just on that one keyword. So what we're doing is really niching down the keywords. So once you've got all of your keywords sorted into the different groups, we then need to determine whether we actually need to create unique pages for each of these keywords. So for example, conservatory builders London, we need to check on page 1 to see whether that keyword is being targeted on its own. So are the page 1 competition creating content just about conservatory builders in London? If they are, then we also need to do that, because that's the only way that we're going to really effectively rank for this keyword. If they're not, and they're covering it under the general keyword of builders London or something like that, then we don't need to create a unique page for it. So I've put the keyword conservatory builders London into a Google search to try and check whether people are actually creating unique pages for this specific keyword. So if we scroll down and have a look at the results, you can see that they are actually creating separate pages for this specific keyword. You can see here that this company here has a page for conservatory builders and installers in London. This company has done the same thing as well, so has this one. So you can see it's obvious that in order to rank for this keyword effectively, we're going to need to create a completely separate page for this one keyword. So if we put another keyword into Google and we have a look at this one, so if we scroll down and have a look at the results here, you can see that some companies are targeting Greenwich home builders and other companies aren't. So for example, the top one here, Greenwich builders, it looks like they are just targeting builders in Greenwich and then they're covering that keyword within this content. If we look at another example, we've got Greenwich home builders here, you can see that they are targeting that keyword. So what you need to do is basically work your way through this list, work out what keywords need to be targeted on their own separate pages and what ones don't. What you don't want to be doing though is targeting the same keyword in a different order on different pages, because that would be called keyword cannibalization. So for example, builders London, you might have multiple ways of saying builders London. So best builders in London, building companies London. You would not want to put them on 2 separate pages because you would effectively be targeting the same keyword except on two different pages, and this is what is going to confuse search engines. And lastly, if you wanted to keep going with the subgroups, and you could go a little bit further than that and just keep trying to narrow it down a little bit more until you're really specific about the keywords that you're targeting. So it just makes it really easy for search engines to find and index the different keywords that you're targeting. And this will make it really clear and easy for anyone that visits your website to see what services that you offer in the different locations. So to summarize the video, keyword grouping is a simple but very important part of the SEO process that needs to be done. It's really important that you always do the right kind of research to understand what keywords need their own pages and what keywords don't need their own pages. If you keep narrowing down the keywords into smaller groups, this means that you can get more specific about what you're targeting. So thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and if you've got any comments, please let me know in the comments section below. If you are interested in learning more about local SEO, then follow the link below to my free local SEO course.